Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're cutting through some of the noise to look at what seems like a pretty simple piece of hardware. It's the WolfPack 4K 30Hz AV via IP POE transceiver. Now our goal here isn't just, a product review. We want to pull apart the tech inside AV over IP, power over Ethernet, and really understand how this relatively inexpensive $250 box might be speeding up how AV and IT networks are coming together.
Yeah, and what's really defining about this specific device, I think, is its flexibility. See, you're not buying just an encoder or just a decoder, this one unit. It does both. It can be a transmitter, a TX, or a receiver, an RX. And you switch that using PC software. That right there tells you it's built for systems that need to change, systems that are dynamic.
Okay, let's unpack some of that. PoE first, power over Ethernet. That's the big draw, right? Power and signal, one cable. Makes installation simpler, less mess. But thinking about bigger setups, like a huge video wall, doesn't relying on PoE make power planning tricky for the installers, on the switch side?
Oh, absolutely it does. You definitely have to watch your switch's power budget carefully. Integrators know this. But, the advantage for these spread out AV over IP systems often wins out because the network itself, the gigabit Ethernet here, is how everything gets delivered. This specific box pushes 4K video, albeit at 30 hertz, using standard network protocols, TCP/IP, across a regular 10, 100, or 1,000 megabit network.
And the distance claim is, well, it's pretty big. They say 450 feet for 4K 30 hertz over standard CT6. So it's quite a stretch. Does that mean there's probably some light compression going on to manage that without needing fiber?
It's highly likely. Look, to get 4K quality over that distance on just a 1 gig connection, you almost certainly need some kind of compression, maybe visually lossless, maybe mathematically lossless, just to keep the data rate under control. That's kind of the trick, right? Using standard, affordable IT gear, but maximizing the distance and quality.
Right. Okay, so that brings us to speed. This is where it gets interesting, I think. The vendor talks about features like seamless switching. They even put no latency right on the main feature list.
Yeah. That's a bold claim, a marketing choice maybe. Because if you dig into the detailed specs, the actual measured latency is listed as 80 to 120 milliseconds.
Okay, wait, so there is latency. Why does that 80 to 120 milliseconds matter? And who does it matter to?
Well, for a lot of things, like a basic video wall, 80 milliseconds, honestly, your eyes probably won't notice the lag when it switches sources, so that's okay. But, and this is a big but, if you're planning to use this for KVM, keyboard, video, mouse control, like remotely controlling a computer in real time, that 80 to 120 millisecond delay, that's noticeable. That could be a real problem. So it suggests this is probably better suited for just displaying video rather than, say, real-time interactive control. But okay, putting the speed question aside for a moment, let's talk about where this thing really comes into its own, scale and automation. It's built for video wall processing, and it supports Multiview.
That Multiview, that caught my eye. Up to 16 different video sources on one screen. You can picture that, right? A security control room, maybe? Monitoring a dozen cameras, data feeds all at once.
Exactly. That's the kind of problem it solves.
Yeah.
And the integration goes beyond just video signals. Look at the control options. Of course, there's KVM support, which we mentioned, turning the network into a sort of remote desktop setup. But critically, for that IT convergence idea, it has physical serial ports, RS-232, RS-485, and even general I/O ports.
Okay, so those serial ports mean it can talk to and be controlled by older or more industrial control systems. That really underlines the AV-IT blend.
Precisely. It confirms this isn't just designed as a standalone AV box. It's meant to plug into a wider automated environment.
And then there's the ONVIF and RTSP support. That really ties it into the security and surveillance world, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
For listeners maybe not familiar, why are ONVIF and RTSP so important here?
Well, RTSP is the real-time streaming protocol. ONVIF is basically the global standard for IP security gear, cameras mostly. Having those means this AV hardware can directly pull feeds from standard IP security cameras, or it can push video into a bigger video management system. It's like definitive proof that this thing lives on the IT network, not just in an AV rack somewhere.
Got it. Okay, so wrapping up the practical side, this WolfPack transceiver, it's sold by HDTV Supply, Inc., costs $250, and it comes with a 3-year warranty.
So what does it all mean? I think it shows that mix of PoE, AV over IP, KVM, video walls, plus those IT protocols like RTSP. It's really forcing the issue. AV folks increasingly need network skills, and IT folks are dealing more with media transport. It's less about pulling heavy coax cable now and more about managing IP addresses and network switches.
It really is a massive shift. So here's a final thought to leave you with. If one $250 box can juggle 16 video windows, talk to security cameras, and be controlled via industrial protocols, what traditional, maybe expensive, specialized AV hardware isn't potentially threatened by this kind of converged IT-based approach in the future? Something to mull over. We'll be back with another deep dive soon.